Hi friends, it's Miss Anna here with our weekly church school lesson. Today we are talking about baptism and particularly about Jesus's baptism. Now some of you guys might remember your own baptisms, or you might remember being in worship and when we had a baby baptism or a child or an adult baptized. Baptism is a sacrament, which means it's a really special part of our worship at church where we remember something special about who God is and the promises that God has for us. And we have something that is a special kind of ritual we go through that remembers that and also kind of invites the Holy Spirit to be a part of what's happening there. And in a baptism, we take water, and water is the symbol of how God cleans us and how God has made promises that we belong to God. And our lesson today is about Jesus's baptism. So even though Jesus was God's son, Jesus was baptized. And we're going to start the story with Jesus's cousin, John the Baptist. So here we go. There we go. So John the Baptist lived in the wilderness. He made his own clothes out of camel hair and ate honey and locusts. Locusts are like grasshoppers, and they are delicious with honey. God had given John a very important job. He was telling everyone about Jesus and getting people ready for him. Crowds came from far and wide to listen to John the Baptist because he was teaching something exciting. He told the people about loving God and living life with him and how to say sorry for the things that they had done wrong. John reminded them that God had made them to love others and told them to share their food and their clothes with people who did not have enough. One day, as John was baptizing people in the Jordan River, he saw Jesus walking towards him. "There he is," John shouted, "the one I have been telling you about. He has come to change us and rescue us. The whole world will be different because of him." "John, I want you to baptize me," Jesus told him. "Me? Baptize you?" John said. "Yes," said Jesus. When John had baptized Jesus in the river, God's Spirit came down to Jesus like a dove. "You are my beloved Son," God said, "and my great joy." Jesus was now ready to begin the work that God had given him. So Jesus's baptism kind of marked the beginning of the time he was ready to do his ministry on earth. And when we baptize people in our church, we make promises to God to live faithfully for God. And also, like when we baptize a baby, the church makes promises that we are going to be there for each other and to help raise each other up in faith. And even though a baby is not saying, "I choose God," we know that God chooses us before we even have a chance to say yes, that we belong to God. I hope this week that you guys feel the promises that God has for you, and that you take the promises seriously that we make to God, that we will love God and love other people, and that makes a change in our lives, that we are not the same after we make promises to God.